Good morning and happy Sabbath again to you, our friends. We welcome you this morning to our presentation. We are happy that you have chosen to join us through Facebook Live and YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us again. Happy Sabbath. Our foundation text this morning is found in 2 Peter 3:11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? But before we listen to Dr. Frias, let us sing our opening song.
Happy Sabbath first of all, happy Sabbath to our dear God, our Creator, and happy Sabbath to all of you, our friends who are tuned into our program today. Wherever you are, we wish you a very blessed and happy Sabbath this morning. We have a very interesting topic this morning. It's about getting ready, preparing to immigrate to the beautiful kingdom of God. So before we start, I would like to invite you to seek the word, Lord, in prayer. Please bow down your heads. Dear God, our Father in heaven, thank you so much for another week that you have added to our lives. Thank you for this beautiful Sabbath day. And thank you also for the message that you have inspired me to share to to the inhabitants of this world, wherever they are. That Father, your invitation is open to everyone. You would like everyone in this world to be able to immigrate to your heavenly kingdom, where there's no more pain, no more sorrow, no more sickness, and no more death. I pray that, Father, that you will bless us all with this message that you have for us today, and bless me also as I share this very important information to the inhabitants of the world. Forgive us from where we have fallen short of your glory. I ask all this favor in Jesus' holy name, I pray. Amen. Okay, we're now going to go to our presentation. Getting ready for heaven. All right. In the text that was read by my wife, 2 Peter 3:11, it says here, seeing then that all things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy convocation and godliness? I'm going to continue on further. I will read all the way up to verse 14. Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Now, for those of you who have been studying the Bible, you've been following Bible studies, you know that there are three heavens. The atmospheric heaven, the one that we can see here above us, you know, and there's also the, what you call that, starry heavens. Beyond that, the atmospheric heaven is like a sort of a boundary that keeps us here within the Earth's atmosphere. And beyond that is another heaven where the stars, constellations are. If there's a very bright evening with stars and moon, you can see the stars up there. And that is the what you call the starry heaven. But the third heaven is what you call the heaven of heavens, where God lives, the dwelling place of God. And the first heaven will be burned together with the earth when Jesus cleaned this earth. When Satan will be destroyed, the earth and this first heaven will also be burned, and it will be changed to a new heaven, and the earth will be changed to a new earth, where after our vacation, those who are saved, after their vacation in heaven, they will be coming down to inhabit this new earth, where there's no more Satan, no more bad elements in this world. If we were expecting to migrate permanently to another country, what changes would this prospect make in the pattern of our daily lives? Would we not begin to prepare seriously for the life and the new land, so that when we arrive, we would not be complete strangers? Our lives would be dominated and revolutionized by the new and exciting prospect. The language, the laws, customs, dress, climate, diet, currency, sicknesses, standard of living, politics, religion, education of the citizens of our future homeland would immediately become our major preoccupation. If we were in danger of carrying some sickness or contracting one when we got there, would we not take thorough precautions before our departure? Inasmuch as we are expecting to migrate soon from earth to heaven, when Jesus comes, should we not have the same serious attitude towards preparation for life in this heavenly world? To help us get ready for the coming migration, God has given us this Holy Bible. You can see this Bible, God gave it to us. It is a faithful mirror of the standards that will govern our conduct in the world to come. In this lesson, we will study these principles of Christian living and our relationship to them. So This is just an imagination of how the heavenly kingdom mansion that God is preparing for his people to live. Just an imagination. We don't know exactly how it looks like, but if you think this is beautiful, it is much beautiful than that. The relevance of Christian standards. The Bible standards of conduct have a twofold relevance. Not only do they help to fit us for life in our future heavenly home, but they help us to grapple more effectively with the practical realities of life in this present world. In Psalms 119:9, wherewithal shall a man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. So the way that a man can cleanse his way, can become righteous, is by taking heed, by obeying God's word in this Holy Bible. There is a widespread notion abroad today that Christian standards of morality are arbitrary, repressive, and obsolete. Advocates of this view are saying there are no obsolete standards. Truth, beauty, and decency are only relative. Every man must be permitted to create his own moral values and to do his own thing in his own way, in his own situation. I do not know if you agree with that, but Dr. Harry Emerson Fosdick has written a hard-hitting reply to this irresponsible, twisted, pagan view of life. He said, go into a science laboratory and tell them there is no standards in their work, and they will throw you out. Standards are their central business. Standards of induction, of verification, of technique, and behind this, profound standards of veracity, integrity, and disinterested devotion to the truth. Wherever you find great work being done in engineering, in architecture, in agriculture, in medicine, in music, in art, in literature, or in science, amid the infinite variety of expressions, you will find at the core and center of all standards concerning which men are persuaded that nowhere can their disregard be right and nowhere can their observance be wrong. So this is just images that I would like to share with you, showing you that in every line of administrative work, the standards, rules, and procedures has to be obeyed, followed, and observed in any science laboratory and in all kinds of administrative activities in order for them to be successful in accomplishing their missions and whatever they like to pursue. So you can see that's another photo there. They're all organized. They're organized. Yeah, they don't want to make mistakes. That's why it is even said that pharmacy, the profession of pharmacy, is the most honest profession, because they will make sure that they do not make a mistake, because the lives of people taking those drugs, those medicine, are at stake if they make a mistake. So even the calculations are all based on precision calculation. The foundation of Christian standards, the ultimate foundation of Christian morality, is not merely what God requires, but what God is. 1 Peter 1:15-16 says that, but he, as he which hath called you is holy, so be holy in all manner of conversation, because it is written, be holy, for I am holy. So God wants us to emulate him, emulate his character. God is holy, so he wants us to be holy also. God's holiness is the moral excellence, his stainless, incorruptible goodness, his unquenchable enthusiasm for righteousness, his uncompromising and total recoil for evil. Another text in Deuteronomy 32:4. It says, he is the rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment, a God of truth and without iniquity, just and right is he. Bible holiness, therefore, has nothing to do with hollows or stained glass window saints or sanctimonious words and studies. It is positive, active, and virile, not negative, passive, and supine. It means total commitment to goodness and total separation from evil. Romans 12:9 says, abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. In 2 Timothy 2:19, it says, let everyone that nameth the name of Christ depart from iniquity. So that is a call for us. We have to depart from iniquity. Furthermore, God's character does not change. The constant ebb and flow of human opinions and values does not alter his character by hair's breadth. In Malachi 3:6, he said, I am the Lord, I change not. So if people tell you that this has been changed by God and in the Bible it was never changed, then don't believe them because you are being deceived. That person is being used by Satan, by his enemy, by God's enemy, to deceive you so that you will not be able to go to God's kingdom. So if you would like to believe him, go with him, it's up to you. It is out of this fundamental fact of God's unchanging holiness that his authority, his claims, and his commands arise. His standards are the faithful and unalterable reflection of his character. So we have to copy, we have to mirror Jesus Christ. That's why we have to study the character of Jesus Christ in this book, in his manual, so that we'll be able to copy him, copy his character, in order for us to be fit for his kingdom. Therefore, as you have received Christ Jesus, the Lord, walk in union with him, reflecting his character in the things you do and say, living lives that lead others away from sin. That's in Colossians 2:6. Reflecting the image of Christ, whether you are a man or woman, and reflecting the character of Christ in our actions, the scope of Christian standards. God's claims are so broad and far-reaching that they take in every department of our lives. In Leviticus 10:27 says, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind. 1 Corinthians 10:32 says, whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God. Colossians 3:17 says, whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus. In Philippians 4:8 it says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there is any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things, said. Though God's standards cover every area of human conduct, he does not regiment our lives down to last microscopic detail. Instead of long, complicated list of rules and regulations, he gives us great unchanging principles illustrated in the Bible by scores of practical examples. He then leaves us free to apply these principles in our individual circumstances under the guidance of his Holy Spirit. Believe in God. Believe that he is, and that he created all things, both in heaven and in earth. Believe that he has all wisdom and all power, both in heaven and in earth. Believe that man does not comprehend all the things which the Lord can comprehend. That's why if there are things that you do not really understand, have faith in God and just believe him. Whatever is written in the Bible, just believe it, even if you cannot comprehend it. Because when we migrate to his heavenly kingdom and be with Jesus, be with God, we will be able to ask him for those things that we are not able to comprehend when we were here on earth. God desires for us to mirror the character that reflects principles taught by Jesus. This is a non-ending progress. Character development is like the song that never ends. It must go on and on and on, or we fall back on old habits and old behavior. Therefore, as you have received Christ Jesus, the Lord, walk in union with him, reflecting his character in the things that you do and say, living lives that lead others away from sin. The rewards of Christian standards for loving God, for emulating Christ. Think first of the present rewards. Present rewards. While here on earth, you can enjoy a length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. The most important thing is have a peaceful life. You see, that's one thing I was able to experience. My life before, I was making good money. I was a businessman, but my life is full of turmoil, always problems coming in here and there, and I'm very busy solving problems, and you're making good money, but you're always thinking on how to spend it and how to enjoy it, and there's no rest. But I found that when I decided to align myself with God, everything is peaceful. Even those people who tried to give me trouble and problems, I don't know if they're at peace. I don't think so. But the more blessed I get with the peace that God gives me. They are life unto thee that find them, and health on all their flesh. And so that is so reward that you get even on this present life on earth. If you obey God and align your life with him, you will have peace on earth, and you will also have good health, which is very important. Okay, of course there will be problems. We are not immune to the problems that Satan causes in this world, but at least God will always give us a way on how to solve problems and how to get out of problems. The impression is sometimes given that in this present world, the Christian life is all hardship and sacrifice, but no gain. Nothing could be further from the truth. Even if there were no hereafter, God's standards would still be the best guarantees of present liberty, peace, health, prosperity, security, and happiness. The blessings that we all covet most. God's commandments proved to be a sound insurance policy for Daniel and his companions. So will they be in us. Now consider the eternal rewards. Now here are now the eternal rewards. Galatians 6:8 says that his that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap everlasting. So if we sow to the Spirit of God, we will reap everlasting blessing, because we will not die anymore, everlasting reward. The living of Christian standards. At this point, many will say, I respect and applaud the standards, but I cannot live them. It's like asking a helpless paralytic to climb to the top of Mount Everest or jump to the moon. It just can't be done. That's the excuse that some people say. Well, 2 Corinthians 2:6 says, who is sufficient for these things? Ezekiel 36:27. I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. I found that it's not impossible. Everything that God teaches in the Bible, they're all doable. And we're going to study some of them here. So if we obey God and not obey in order for us to be saved, we obey God because we love him. You follow the desires of your wife because you love her, not because you would like to maintain to be with her. Otherwise, that relationship will fall apart if that is the reason that you're only doing it, you're only being drugged because you're afraid that your wife or your spouse might kick you out. But you obey because you love. So when we do that, we meet Jesus in heaven and we'll join hands together with him. So the question, are you preparing yourself to meet Jesus? Are you preparing yourself to migrate to this beautiful place where there is no more sin, no more sorrow, no more death, the animals, no wild animals, no more violence, and you will not even see even one dry leaves. Everything is green in the gardens. And brothers and sisters, Jesus will be there with us. In conclusion, John Ruskin said, the great object of God's salvation is to make people not merely do things, but enjoy them. Not merely honest, but to love honesty. Not merely just, but to love justice. Not merely truthful, but to love truth. Not merely good, but to love goodness. Not merely pure, but to love purity. Not merely holy, but to hunger and thirst after holiness. Ruskin was wise enough to see that God's biggest problem is not the problem of getting us into heaven, but the problem of getting heaven into us. When this marvelous transformation has taken place, we will obey God's standards and as naturally as a candle gives light or a fire gives warmth, and we will not be strangers in our future heavenly kingdom. See that? We will be ready for heaven, and because we already have heaven in our hearts. Now let's go over some of the standards that God suggests. Okay, a summary of Christian standards. One is health and temperance. Now this is quite a lengthy subject, so I would suggest that you go to YouTube and look, search Noel Frias, and what you call that, browse through the different topics. I have 250 videos there already. Look for the topic which says God's living temple at YouTube, and you can study health and temperance there, because God gave us a menu even of what he thinks we should eat, because we are special people to him. We are not like, that's why he would like us to eat only good food, not to eat food that are scavengers, dirt of the earth, because those scavengers, their duty, they're all good what God did, but their job or their function is to eat dead meat, dead skin. So if an animal dies, the scavengers go there and consume their meat so that it will not go with the air and many other people might get sick. So, but we, since we are selected group of God, not selected, actually we are obedient children of God, those who decide to obey Jesus, what we do, we are considered people that are different. So maybe there are scavengers in this world, they also eat scavenger food, but they would like us to eat clean food. That's why you go to God's Living Temple topic in my YouTube. Speech and swearing, tale bearing. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. So speech, swearing, tale bearing is not good. Let no corrupt communication, swear not at all. For every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Let your speech be always with grace. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Speak not evil of one another. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. The words of a talebearer are as wounds. Where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. A talebearer revealeth secrets, therefore meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips. Every fool will be meddling. A whisperer separate chief friends. So people who whisper, who talks one to another and so on, gossiper, he usually separate friends. That's why many good friendship, bonded friendship had been broken because of people who are gossipers and whisperers. A fool's mouth is his destruction. And he that hath knowledge spareth his words. Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. Let the words of my mouth be acceptable in thy sight. So many texts. So people that God would like to take to heaven are people who will be able to develop this character, who have a control in their mouth, in their speeches. Another, decency and social purity. Thou shalt not commit adultery. The body is not for fornication. Whoso would look at a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery. Whoso commit adultery destroys his own soul. Fornication and all uncleanness let not be once named among you. Keep thy heart with all diligence. Blessed are the pure in heart. How can I do the great wickedness and sin against you? Whatsoever things are pure, think of these things, bringing unto captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. So it doesn't matter. God can change people. If you are a fornicator before, or an adulterer, or you go around planting wild oats or whatever, now you can change. If you like to become a citizen of heaven, you have to forsake those evil practices and prepare yourself to become a citizen of heaven, to immigrate to heaven. And courtship and marriage, Genesis 18:24. Therefore shall a man cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loved the church. Thou shalt not commit adultery. What therefore God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Whosoever shall put away his wife, save it, except for the cause of fornication, cause her to commit adultery. So if your husband or wife commit adultery, it says that you're allowed to separate with him or her. You try to fix the problem, but if not, then that's the only way that you're allowed to separate. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. God advises that not to marry unbelievers, those who do not believe you, because you'll be confused. You might want to go to heaven, but that unbeliever spouse of yours might take that dream or that goal away from you. It's very possible. There'll be an argument, the belief is divided. When you want to go to your church, the other one will try to discourage you and maybe take you to his church, so you get confused. You start serving two masters, and that's why God prohibits people from marrying unbeliever. If somebody wants to marry you and he's an unbeliever in God, you have to require him to take a Bible study. And you have to look at his character too. If he takes a Bible study just to be able to marry you, you watch out for that also. That's why you have to pray for the person. Or God advises, why don't you just look within your church or within your congregation instead of going out, because you might lose eternal life because of that. Better a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. Better is a dry morsel and quietness therewith than a house full of sacrifices and strife. So it says quietness is better. Being quiet, not too much talking for a spouse, husband or wife is good, because being quiet, it prevents a lot of quarrels and contention, and also it's a good example to the children. So we have to observe recreation and amusement. Be not conformed to this world. Love not the world. The friendship of this world is enmity with God. Thou shalt not follow multitude to do evil. If sinners entice thee, consent thou not. I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. Go not in the way of evil men. Can one go upon the coals and his feet not be burned? Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good. Hate the evil and love the good. Evil communication corrupt and good manners. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Whatsoever things are true, honest, none of liveth himself. Let no man put a stumbling block in the brother's way. It is a good, therefore, neither to eat flesh, nor to drink wine, nor anything whereby thy brother stumbleth. Woe to that man by whom the offense cometh. And dress and personal adornment. Now remember, I'm enumerating to you the things that God wants his people to observe if they are planning to immigrate to heaven. So if you don't plan to migrate to heaven, you don't plan to be with God, it doesn't matter. You don't have to obey any of this. But these are, I already enumerated, I'm enumerating them to you. I searched them from the Bible, summed them up, so that you will know what you have to prepare, what you have to do with yourself if you would like to migrate to God's heavenly kingdom. Psalm 45:13, the king's daughter is all glorious within. The woman adorned himself with modest apparel, the ornaments of a meek and quiet spirit. There is a generation, O thou lofty are their eyes. The Lord hates a proud look. Pride goeth before destruction and haughty spirit. Because the daughters of Zion are haughty, the Lord will take away their tinkling ornaments. Jezebel, the proud pagan queen, in a painted face, with a painted face. The apostate church adorned with gold, precious stones, and pearls. The true church clothed in simple garments. Man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh in the heart. So what are Jesus' principles of conduct regarding clothing? Jesus said, dress modestly. Remember that the world is brought into our lives through the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and pride of life. That is why all sins can be connected to these three: lust of the eyes, pride of life, and lust of the flesh. Lay ornaments and jewelry aside, because that causes pride of life. Their appearance witnesses, sends light to others. So sometimes their attention of others, it goes to your jewelry. Jewelry draws attention to and exalts itself. In the Bible, it is a symbol of backsliding and apostasy. When Jacob and his family rededicated their life to the Lord, they buried their jewelry on the earth. So if you want to migrate to heaven, God wants you to start training yourself, removing your earrings, removing your necklaces, because they will all be burned. These are all earthly things, and you will not be welcome in heaven if you're going to be trying to go there with those jewelry. So start practicing not wearing them, okay? And when the Israelites were about to enter the promised land, the Lord commanded them to remove their ornaments. See? So when a person comes to God, I noticed that many people that I preach the gospel to, I teach the Bible, before when they decide to accept Christ, even if they're full of jewelry. I gave a Bible study one time who looked like Mary Magdalene. She got everything hanging on her body and so on. But when she accepted Christ, I saw her come to the church now clean and simple, no more jewelry. God clearly says that wearing jewelry, bracelet, rings, earrings, etc., are listed in verses 19 to 23 of Exodus 33. Is people who are sinning. So if you are wearing jewelry, God is very clear here. You are sinning, and God is appalled if you face him with all kinds of jewelry in your body. The Lord says that when Israel forsook him, they began to wear jewelry. When people leave the church and they try to apostatize against Christ, they start wearing jewelry. So it's a sign of being separated from Christ. And Paul and Peter both inform us that God's people will not adorn themselves with gold, pearls, and costly arrays, a meek and quiet spirit, and good works. Jesus sums it up by symbolizing his true church in Revelation as a pure woman clothed in the sun, brightness, and righteousness, with the apostate church as a harlot. A harlot is bedecked with gold, precious stones, and pearls. So God does not want, for women, God does not want you to look like a harlot in the church. And that's what happened if you wear jewelry. God asked his people to separate from Babylon, separate from this world. And all it stands for, including jewels that draw attention to self instead of clothe themselves with the righteousness of Jesus. When we fall in love with Jesus, it is a sheer joy and pleasure to live his lifestyle. So you want to migrate to heaven, you want to be with Jesus, you want to live eternally, we have to sacrifice this. Otherwise, you can stay here on earth and die together with Satan, be burned forever. Honesty and truthfulness, integrity. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, thou just balance, just ways shall ye have. Thou shalt not be a perfect and just weight. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. The Lord hates false witnesses, the getting of treasures by a lying tongue, a vanity. He that despises the gain of oppressions, that shaketh his hand and holding brides. He that getteth riches and not by right shall leave them in the midst of his days, and his end shall be a fool. Provide things honest in sight of man, whatsoever things are honest, think on these things, and their mouth was found no guile. So these are things that God says. So we are so fortunate, because if you would like to be saved, you would like to be with God, you would like to be with Jesus, you would like to have peace forever, you would like to live forever without dying anymore, without being burned in hell together with Satan. If you would like to do that, that's fantastic, because God gave us already the things that we should do. I do not see anything here hard to do. The only two things that I find that many people find it hard to do is disobeying man and obeying God when it comes to the keeping of the Sabbath. People have a difficulty in transferring the wrong day that God has chosen for his holiday, and they would like to stay just because of that, just because you cannot, just because of Sunday or whatever day that you are celebrating as a holiday, which is contrary to what God says, which is a holiday, Saturday. Just because of that, you would like to give up your life to live. You would like to commit an everlasting death for your life. Don't you value your life? That's one. And the other thing that I find people are having hardship to obey is this dress and adornment, because I've seen even Christians coming to God, they cannot get rid of their earrings and so on. I don't know why. Just get rid of them. First of all, it will save you money by not keep on buying them. They're expensive. But secondly, why disobey God? You might think it's a simple thing. It's not a simple thing. You know, just imagine Garden of Eve. God told Adam and Eve, you will not die, you will live forever. But all you have to do is not touch this fruit, not eat it. And by merely touching that fruit and eating it, they sacrificed their life. They were subjected to death. That's why they died. And the whole human being dies. All humanity dies. But we have a loving God who decided to come, Jesus, to let his son come in order to invite us again, because we cannot waste all this creation of man, all dying forever. We give them a chance to come back to us. And Jesus Christ, for anybody who believes Jesus Christ and emulate his character, like I mentioned here, you obey these things that God says. Obey not in order to be saved. Obey because you love Jesus, you love to be with him, and it's a result of your loving Jesus. So we can become citizens of his eternal kingdom. What thrilling promises God makes to the people who enter his new kingdom. When we enter God's new kingdom, the Lord in person will live with us. We will never become bored. That's all in the Bible. There's no more death, no more pain, no more tears, no more sorrow, no more sickness, no more hospital, no more operation, no more tragedy, no more disappointment, no more trouble, no more hunger and thirst. You will never get tired anymore. No more deaf, no more blind, no more lame, no more jealousy, envy, fear, hatred, falsehood, impurity, cynicism, filth, worry, and all evil will forever be shut out. No more nervous breakdown, no more deadlines and pressures. And also, no more sea. There will be rivers, but no more sea. Desert will become a full garden, no more desert. All animals will be tamed. Little children will play with them and lead them. No more curse, no more violence, no more storms, no more floods, no more earthquakes, no more tornadoes, injury, no cigarette butts, tobacco, alcohol drinks, tavern, brothels, lewd pictures, filth, and impurity. Can a feeble mind language really describe the glorious God's heavenly home look like? It says in 1 Corinthians 2:9, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things that God hath prepared for them that loves him. Yes, now the question is, can I be assured that this great place in that great and glorious kingdom, I can also be there? Of course, yes. if you give your heart to Jesus, walk with him here. If you would walk like, if you would like to walk with him there. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in. Somebody asked me, if God can give us peace, eternal peace like this, why does he allow these typhoons, these earthquakes, this sinfulness, violence, and crime? Why does he allow it to go on? Of course, he allow it because there is choice. This are all, we are all given choices. You see, he is not the only one. He is not the one in control of this world. When Satan was able to tempt Adam and Eve, this whole world became the kingdom, the dominion of Satan. So he cannot intervene with Satan's administration of this world. But the only way he can do is introduce himself to us through this Bible, so that if we like to connect with him, he will protect us from Satan. Not that we will not experience violence or crime or risk anymore. We will, but could interrupt. Whatever happens, he could allow it in order to whatever is good for us. The purpose of God allowing all these problems in this earth is so that those people who are obeying Jesus or obeying God, they'll be able to see how bad it is to live in a world that is dominated by Satan. And they will get tired of it. They will really look forward to being with God in heaven, because God promises that in the new heavenly kingdom, in the new earth, there will be no more Satan, no more bad people. That is why he's preparing our character. We cannot bring anything when we go to heaven. The only thing we can bring is our character. He's preparing our character. Leave it alone. Preparing our character in order for us to become fit in the kingdom, so that when we go there, we will not have thieves anymore. We will not have violent people. We will not have criminals anymore. We will not have all kinds of sinful people there, because Satan and those who decided to obey him will all be taken to the lake of fire. Remember, God said in Revelation 12:48, and John 12:48, it says, the word that God placed in this book, the word that I have spoken, is the judge. Is the judge of you and me. Okay? So if you disobey this word, you're being judged already. And the judgment, according to Revelation 21:8, is that they will be thrown in the lake of fire, which is their second death, together with Satan. And you will find that also in Revelation 20:5. That's why there are two deaths. For those who obey God, those who will be saved, they could die here, but God will resurrect them, take them to heaven, and let them inhabit the new earth later on. But those who disobey God and abide with Satan's administration, they will die. And when the time comes that God is going to burn Satan, he's going to resurrect them to burn them. So that will be their second death. There will be two deaths. And blessed are those who die only one time and they obey God, because the second death will not apply to them anymore. And another, so that is the judgment of this book. So you have to listen to the judgment of this book. Also read Hebrews 4:4-12, 4-13 or 12. It says there that God has given us the Saturday Sabbath as a holy day, and people do not obey it because of disobedience, because of unbelief. So if you continue to unbelieve God about the Sabbath, then the judgment is also there. Unbelief, you will be thrown in the lake of fire. See, but God said you will be living together. The wheat and the tares will live together while it's not here yet. But when it comes, it's divided into two. Those that obeyed him, that I went through the different characteristics of people that he would like to take to heaven. He promised to take them to heaven and give them everlasting life. And those who disobeyed him and obeyed the administration of Satan instead, going with the things that God said should not be done, then of course God will not tell a lie. He promised that they will be Matthew 25:41. He promised that hell is for Satan and his angels, and when he burned Satan, those who obeyed the administration of Satan, they will all be burned together with him. Thank you so much. We're going to sing now. This is our closing song. And so let us prepare to sing our closing song. Thank you very much for that beautiful song. When we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. I thank you very much, my friends, for tuning in to our program this morning. And I hope that you will continue to stay with us, because as long as God inspires me, gives me messages that I should share with you, because our purpose is studying this myself. It's not only forever, it's for myself also. I'm learning too much as I research the way on how to go to heaven. That's why I named the ministry God's Roadmap to Everlasting Life. I thank you so much, and I would like to invite you now to bow our heads as we seek the Lord in prayer. Father God, thank you so much for this beautiful message that you have inspired me to share to the people of the world today. Dear Father, thank you, because it is now easy. Now it's very clear to us what we should do if we will die to become citizens of your eternal kingdom. I read all of them. They're all doable, dear Father. There's nothing difficult of them. The only thing that people are having problems with are to be able to come to you and adjust to your teachings. Your teachings right from the very beginning is you gave us 7 days of a week, but you said one day, a special day is the Sabbath. You would like us to be able to spend the time to honor you and glorify your name and to remember you, so that we will never forget you, our Creator. But people have been deceived with so many different teachings that they do not respect your Sabbath. Of course, you gave a judgment to them that because they do not believe you, you will take them together with your enemy Satan when you burn them. I don't like any of them to be burned. Their Father would like them to be saved in your eternal kingdom. So help them to have the courage It doesn't matter. You know, I have many friends before who thought I was crazy for joining God because they are of this world. But but I never lose them. They're still my friends, and they understand now. And many of them are joining me to become followers of yours. And also, the other thing is being attached to this world. They're so attached. Why can we not get rid of all those ornaments in our bodies, which we do not really need? Because you have created us beautiful already, and we are simple, and God wants, you want us to just be simple the way we were created, and not to even decorate ourselves with so many different things like earrings, necklaces, and all those tattoos and everything that just destroy our body. And you said, our Father, that if we would like to destroy our body, you're going to help us destroy it. And if it's not destroyed right away here on earth, eventually you'll destroy it together with Satan when it comes. Now, dear Father, we would like to obey you, not because we would like to be saved. We'd like to obey you because we love you. It is a result of our love to you. So help us, dear Father, give us the power and strength and to be able to overcome our weaknesses, which is probably obeying you, because your instructions are all doable anyway. And obey them. If we obey them, you give us peace, not only here on earth, but in your heavenly kingdom, and you give us everlasting life. Forgive us from where we've fallen short of your glory, and give us the blessing that you have in store for us today. I ask all this favor in your sweet and mighty holy name, dear Jesus. Amen. Thank you so much, my friends, and I wish you continue supporting our program. I encourage your friends, go to my YouTube channel and press subscribe and the notification bell, not because of anything that I'll get for it, but the purpose of that is to be able to spread this to more people, and not and it also for your education. I have 252, 253 with today's sermon now that you can look at. Just choose the topic you want. You can learn everything about God's roadmap to everlasting life. Thank you so much, and may God bless all of you.